Tonight we got our fans with us. They spent their own dough to get here, and they came here to see us. All right, let's show them what we got, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it.
Here's a little number I tossed up recently to cut a bill.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
Better get a bucket or throw up.
Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm sucking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just dumb?
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
It all keeps adding up. I think I'm sucking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just dumb?
Right, off you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wednesday night at the comic strip. How are you feeling tonight? Tonight's show features your headliner, Jesse Joyce. But first, please make some noise for your host and MC, Don Dumont.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Good? Good. I don't have any jokes about hockey, so we don't have to talk about that. Is anyone actually worried about the game? No? No one cares? Okay, I'm not going to tell you the score just in case you're PVRing the game. Oh, sir, you have your sunglasses on. Are you high? No? Oh, you're not blind, are you? You just like to wear your sunglasses? Are you a musician? Oh, just why are you wearing your sunglasses inside? Wow, that's really good. And I also know that you're now full of shit. Okay, so is anyone celebrating anything tonight? Any birthdays, anything like that? Any anniversaries? I don't really care. I just want to get to know you without having to ask weird questions. Are you guys on a date? You two are on a date? And you two are on a date? How long have you guys been going out? No, wait, let me guess. You guys have been going out longer than this couple. No, I'm wrong? Really? Oh, okay. I should have known because you're like, got your arms crossed, you're all settled. You look a little more nervous. Okay. No, you're not nervous? Okay, that's good. I'm glad. Well, how long have you guys been dating? 2 years. Oh, yeah, you shouldn't be nervous anymore. Yeah. It's not even dating, really, right? Oh, okay. And how about you guys? It's just like a couple's night out. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right, so this is going really well. I'll just move on. I've actually been doing a little bit of dating myself. I've been trying the online thing. Have you ever tried that? I don't recommend it. It doesn't work very well. And I've actually noticed that I really feel like the guys need to work in their profiles. Like I saw this one guy in his profile with just a picture of him with a bat in his hand, you know, like so. And then underneath his profile read, "I know how to treat a lady." Yeah, and you made it even worse because he listed in his likes and dislikes that he liked to take long hikes deep in the woods and learn new sailor's knots. I know, excellent sailor. But I know that I have terrible taste in men because I was driving my car the other day and I was checking out guys and I saw this one guy and he had his back to me and he was kind of bent over and I was like, damn, no, that is a great ass. And then I realized that he was digging out of the garbage. Yeah. So I just, drove around the block and threw a can out the window with my number written on it. Yeah, but He didn't call. So I think next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a can out the window with a string tied to it, you know. Then I can be like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I got an apartment with a door and everything. Yeah, I don't know why I'm bragging to a homeless guy. I got issues. I actually, I'm the worst person in a relationship. I just become like so stupid, you know, like my ex-boyfriend for our anniversary, he took me to Hooters, which seemed like a really good idea at the time, you know, because, you know, he really liked wings and I'm incredibly insecure. So that should go well together. But it was like my first time in Hooters. And our waitress came to the table, and she had, like, you know, like, they were huge. I guess they would be, like, double Ds or something. And, you know, she just sort of, like, thunked them on the table, you know. And she's like, what would y'all like to eat? Because they all have southern accents in my head. And, you know, like, just looking at those big things, just, like, I was totally distracted, you know. I totally got my order wrong, you know. I'm like, I'll have a burger, fries, he has a small penis, and a Coke. No, wait, a Diet Coke, and it's really small. What would you like, honey? Yeah, it's good times. I actually, I really feel like I make the most of the single life, you know, like, because, you know, you got, like, lots of time in your hands, and I feel like I spend it very well. Like, last night, I ate an entire onion. Yeah, just like an apple, you know, why not? And I went and breathed on things in the house. It was awesome. And tonight, I'm going to go home, and I'm going to clear my throat for an hour. Just like, is this bothering anyone? Is this annoying at all? And then I'm just going to masturbate to cat porn. Because, I mean... cat videos. Wow, that really went fucking weird. So, as far as I know, there's no such thing. Do not search for that. Oh my God. Oh, change the subject. I'm really excited because I just got one of my girlfriends is getting married this summer. She met a guy. She lives in New York, and so we're all going down for the wedding. And I'm really excited because I find the guys are so friendly in New York. Like, ladies, you walk down the street and all the guys say hi to you in their own special way. You know, like all the Hispanic guys would be like, "Hola, mami," you know, and all the black guys would be like, "What's up, ma?" You know, and all the white guys would be like, "What's up, ma?" Yeah, it's so diverse there. Another thing I really like is, like, the shopping, because you can find some really good deals. Like, I wasn't even in a store, and the salesman came up to me, and he's like, "Free dick for white chicks." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm not white." It's just so weird to apologize for. But then he's like, "Well, then what the hell are you?" And I'm like, "I'm Indian." And he's like, "Indian with a dot or Indian with a casino?" Yeah. Yeah, so I just stabbed him. And I said, "You figure it out, asshole." And then I banger danced away to just fuck with him. Yeah, it was good times. I don't actually do comedy full time. I work in television news, and it's a good job, you know. Like, I actually sorry, I don't know what I'm coughing for. I shouldn't have been clearing my throat. Okay, but no, I work in TV news, and it's a great job. The only thing is, like, I'm like a junior reporter, you know, so I don't really get the big stories. Like, my big story was I was actually covering someone had been pooping in bus shelters. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that. It was, you know, it wasn't the best story, but, you know, I did a good job. You know, I was out there and I was like, clearly there are some human feces in this bus shelter. And I even poked it with a stick because that's what they taught us in journalism school. That's what you do. And, you know, and then I'm like, back to the station. And then about 2 weeks later, you know, my boss is like, "We don't have any stories for you, so you should probably go and update that bus shelter story. Like, yes. So I go back, and I'm like, oh, check it out. There is no poop in this bus shelter. That's right. I made a difference. Yeah, mostly because I stopped pooping in bus shelters. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, you know. I was actually, before I got this job, I was like applying for a lot of different jobs, and it was really hard. Like I couldn't find anything, and I'd always get like the same reply, you know. They'd always be like, well, you're not right for this position, but we'll keep your resume on hold, and if there's another position comes up, you know, we'll put you in for that. So I'm like, I believed it for a while, you know, but then I'm kind of thinking like, I don't know, I'm going to call bullshit on this, you know. So the next time someone sent me that, I just went right into the business, and I was like, hello, can I see the resume file? And, you know, of course, they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm like, no, really, there must be one, because you're keeping it on file somewhere, right? Maybe you should look under, I don't know, F for future employees, or L for liar, liar, pants on fire. Okay, it's new. All right, I'll give it to you. It is definitely a new joke. But it will be funny someday. And you guys will be sorry that you didn't laugh at it. I was actually, I'm actually going home in a couple weeks to, back to Saskatchewan. Anyone here from Saskatchewan? Oh, awesome. And I'm like, the last time I went home to Saskatchewan, it was really cool. Like, I was actually pulling up to get gas, and I ran into a guy that I actually went to high school with. And he's like, hey, Dawn, how many kids do you have? Because that's how you say hi in Saskatchewan. And, you know, and I'm like, none. And then I'm like, how many kids do you have? And he's like, 10. And I didn't know what to say, because that is a lot of fucking kids. I mean, that is never the right answer, you know, unless you have a show on TLC and, like, you know, half of them are midgets, because then that's the right number, you know. But I don't want to be rude, because he looked so sad when he said it, you know. It was kind of like 10, you know. So I tried to make him feel better. So I'm like, oh, well, that must be really fun at Christmas time. And then he's like, I work in a gas station. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. The only way that's fun is if your kids are really into air fresheners or huffing gas. But let's hope that's not the case. Although that is a show that I would watch on TLC. You know, little midgets huffing gas. You know, you call it like little people, big gas tank. Yeah, I would watch that. That's just me and you. It's just the two of us. That's it. Nobody's having any of it. That's okay. I'm actually, I was actually calling my mom. It was her birthday a couple days ago, and I wanted to borrow some money. And, you know, she was mad at me because, you know, she kept bringing up, you know, my birth again, which always annoys me. Because it's like, it's not my fault my head is big, you know. It's fucking her fault. She chose my dad. But, you know, when she was talking to me and telling me that she actually was going to call me Dawn, she was actually going to call me Jennifer. But then one of my aunties came to the hospital, and she's like, you can't call her Jennifer. That was the name of our cow. You know, the one that was cross-eyed and used to drool all the time. Is that what you see when you look at her? Yeah. You know who really hates that story? My sister Jennifer. Yeah, we probably should have got her eyes fixed. But, you know, we wanted cable. So, no, but I really liked growing up with my parents, except for the one thing was, like, they were really strict growing up. Like, this one time, my dad caught me and my sister smoking, and he was so mad. He was like, if I catch the two of you smoking again, I'm going to make you smoke that old cigar when it's on top of the fridge for 5 years. And me and my sister were so scared, because we had already smoked it the week before, so... Yeah. Yeah. No, one thing I really like, I do like talking to my mom, but one thing that really drives me crazy, she's always on my case to, like, settle down and find a nice native man. And, you know, and she's, like, really serious about it. She even brings him home from the store. I mean, not that there's a native man store. That would be weird. and probably secondhand. No, she just brings him home from wherever she is, and she'll be so excited. She'll be like, oh, Don, look at this native man I brought home for you. Isn't he good looking? With his long, straight black hair and his smooth, hairless skin. Oh, look, he's even got a bit of a bum. Now, that's a bonus. And I'm like, Mom, that's an Asian woman. Yeah, so I just made out with her anyway because, she was really hot. All right, so I'm going to get your show started now. We're going to bring up your host for the evening. I believe he is the host of the show Leave Them Laughing. So everyone, please put your hands together for Michael Kryton.
Hey, Walter, your brother's here. Now, look, that's Walter Schwabe, the founder of FusedlogicTV. That is, seriously, everybody look at that. Bruce Willis on donuts. Right there. That's what I'm thinking. He's a guy who founded the network, and welcome tonight to the Leave Them Laughing Search for a Co-Host contest. A lucky person gets to work with me. Lucky you. I'm not a stand-up comedian by trade. I've tried it. I've bombed. I've had successes, but I like to write and produce, and I'm going to have a chance to meet that person tonight once we get through it, and I'm going to take you through the process. We are streaming live on FusedlogicTV to the world. They're out there in the 2s and 3s and thousands and hundreds, and who knows where. Our programs have been seen by people in over 650 cities in over 75 countries. Is that right, Walter? I think we're getting pretty close to that. And by the way, if you've got your thank you for paying attention to us. What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to tweet out. If you have a cell phone, do text people. Let them know you're in the crowd live tonight. And let them know that they're here. All they have to do is go to FusedlogicTV, and they will see me and possibly you. Anyone here having an affair? By the way, because we are streaming live, if you do not want to be seen on camera, put a bag on your head, and that'll take care of it, okay? So I want you to tweet that out. And there's a chat room just below the viewing screen, and those people can join in and offer comments. And we are going to be assessing the wonderful finalists tonight. I want to name them for you. Hold your applause until I get through the list. The finalists tonight that we're going to be singing in just a few minutes are Richard Arnt, Andy Ferguson, Tracie Gray, Marvin, Krawczyk, Mike Lisac, and Neil Rhodes. Give them a hand for making it this far. They're going to be doing 5-minute stand-up routines. You have ballots on your table. You only get to pick one winner, okay? So you pick the one. Mind you, there are no losers tonight because all these people are going to end up being on the show. Leave Them Laughing is going to be about the underbelly of comedy. I'd like to thank Rick Bronson for that. By the way, thanks to the comic strip, Dino DiFilippo as well for the support here and the whole gang who have done a wonderful job in taking care of us. So at the end of the 5 performances, I'd like you to mark the ballot. And we will come and collect them just before the performance of Mr. Jesse Joyce. I'll have the honor to introduce sooner than later, and I do want to do that right now. I should tell a couple of jokes. I was thinking, Don, talk about personals. The personals that comes to mind, the personal that comes to mind for me is the one where women say, I love candlelit dinners. Why? Are you ugly when the lights are turned on? Okay. Are you ugly when the lights are turned on? Okay, that's it. My career is over. I'm going to move on right now and introduce our judges. Lesley MacDonald is one of our judges. She is the co-founder, producer, and host of Global Women of Vision television program, a 16-year national award-winning series that celebrates the accomplishments of inspirational women in the Edmonton area. I remember I asked Lesley once, how come you don't do a show called Men of Vision? And she said, well, Michael, I was actually thinking about that, and then I ran into you, and, that changed that. But, truly, Lesley, you are to women what Michelangelo is to the Sistine Chapel. You are a work of art. Or you're a piece of work. Okay. Louise Miller, sitting right next to her, co-founded the Spinal Cord Injury Treatment Center, is the co-writer of the best-selling book, Daring to Live, Personal Journeys of Courage and Triumph. Here is a person who has found a sense of humor. and a collection of motivational stories about people with disabilities, and she's also the winner of the Order of Canada. Would you please welcome Louise Miller as one of our judges? Now, I was talking earlier to Louise, and I said, Louise, you do understand that tonight you will find some things offensive. And she said, oh, that's all right, dear. Leslie's told me all about you. Walter Schwabe, truly Bruce Willis on donuts, is our fearless leader, the founder of FusedlogicTV. He's on our coaching, our judging crew, and now I have the honor of introducing Jesse Joyce, who has appeared on BBC. I mean, your resume is just, what can I say? Everyone's jealous. How clean is your house? Date night for AMC, Comedy Central. You've been on everybody, you know, Jay Leno, Stand Up 360 with Carolyn Rhea, you know, NBC's Last Comic Standing. You can be seen regularly on Red Eye with Greg Gutfield on the Fox News Network. And instead of going to Boston, because he lives in New York, right? You live in New York. Instead of going to Boston for the game, he comes here. What's with that? What's wrong with you? Okay. You're going to explain that in your set, right? You're going to explain that. You're going to explain that during your set. You came here instead of going to Boston. You're right there. You know, one flight. You're there. You're watching the game. Boston wins. Did Boston win? Is Boston winning? Well, Boston's winning right through. Oh, that hurts. Okay. Well, what can you do? And you know what? What you don't do in comedy is you never take a run at another comedian ever. Especially a guy who writes for celebrity roasts. You never do that. You never say to Jesse something like, you know, I could, you know, eat your New York bio and puke better insults. But, you know, you never say anything to a comedian that would ever insult him, because you set yourself up for the rest of your life. He'll never leave you alone. Ladies and gentlemen, our crew of judges along with me. Sorry, Jesse, you wanted to say something about... I said no revealing of secrets right here and now. I don't know where you're coming from, but you sit down and just sit on it and sit on it hard. Okay? All right. You see? The love boat. The love boat. Okay. Thank God I'm not doing a 5-minute set tonight, although I think I almost did, and I'm done my amateur stand-up. I'd like to thank Dino Di Filippo, the Fuse Logic crew. We have Maria Politti on cream. Where did that come from? Maria Politti on camera. And we have Evan Adams, who is running the whole show out to the internet. We really appreciate the staff here. I'd like to thank David, Devin, Mark, Vanessa, and Taylor for doing what they're doing. So what's going to happen? We're going to take online feedback. We are going to take your ballots at the same time. We're going to take the assessment of the judges, and in that way we are going to assess who is going to win. And then after Jesse does his fantastic routine later, we will announce the winner at the end of the evening. So let's get right to it, shall we? Our first finalist. Born and raised in Edmonton, he's been doing comedy for almost a year. He's a singer and whistler, animates his own cartoons, and actually I watched that cartoon you pointed out to me, Richard. It's fantastic. He's a voice actor and can do many voices and impressions, and has a video on the internet that apparently is over 460,000 views. You can find it on your funnytube.com. Would you welcome to the stage Mr. Richard Arnt?
New York City. You are now rapping.
I emphasize that apparently. I'm pretty sure that is a lie. I've never even heard of this website before, and somebody posted my video on it. I don't even understand that thing, but let's forget it. How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone doing good? All right. Welcome. All right, I got my good friend Weird Al Yankovic on camera over there. All right, so get right into it. I want to tell you a story about back when I was 19 years old. I was a young buck, just recently new to the whole sex thing, and I just got my first one-night stand with this one gorgeous girl, completely out of my league. I don't even know why she even saw anything in me. I honestly, in retrospect, I think she had a coke problem, but I don't judge. I had a Pepsi problem, so we compromised. So when we got down to the yes, a Pepsi problem. So when we were getting down to the deed there, out of nowhere, she says, "Oh, tell me you love me." What? And then she corrected herself. She's like, tell me you like me. I like you? I guess? So yeah, that kind of ruined the mood. And probably why it remained a one-night stand there. And just imagine that during sex. You know, you're like, oh, I like you. I like you so much. Oh, you're just swell. This is fine and dandy. All right. Well, I hope my good friend is watching online right here. He's a gay trumpet player, and I want to do a little impression of him. So during the day, you might find him, practicing his trumpet, doing a little this. And during the night, he's doing this. And when he's 69ing, he got best of both worlds. He can practice both. All right. So, not good? No? Well, thank you for that. All right, I'll let you guys, I don't have much time left, I know, but I have two finishers here. I can either talk about video games or tattoos. Tattoos, all right, tattoos. So, all right, I don't have any tattoos myself personally. Anyone else out have big fan of tattoos? No? No. This guy right here, oh, I can see right there. Oh, got a nice sleeve going. Good stuff. Well, I mean, I just can't really decide what to get. And but one thing that always makes me chuckle is whenever I see like a Christian with a tattoo of a cross, because that tells me that they did not read the Bible. And I have proof here. I have proof right here. All right, here it is, as plain as day. This is my pocket Bible right here. All right. All right. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. That's Leviticus 19:28. So any Christian who has a tattoo is simultaneously worshiping God and defying Him. Kind of ironic. So I was thinking, you know what, that would be a pretty good tattoo. I think I'm going to get a nice tramp stamp of that right on the back there. And I mean, I don't want to make fun of Christians. I just want to make fun of stupid people who don't do any research. To me, I think a lot of the time, I think the Bible, to me, is like the original terms of agreement. You know, like that you get on your computer all the time. I think what most people do with it, they just scroll to the bottom, click accept. Okay, I guess I'm Christian. I didn't read anything of it, but hey, why not? I'm Christian. All right, I think that's my set. I'm not too sure. Do I have any more time? Nope. Am I good? All right. Thank you, everybody. I've been Richard Arnt.
I got 99 problems, but if ain't one, I got the rap patrol on the patrol. Pose that want to make sure my cash is closed.
And later tonight on the Love Boat, our next guy up is Andy Ferguson. He's a television student at NAIT, new to the comedy world. He loves comedy because it gives him a chance to share his personal feelings with complete strangers. Okay. He was a semi-finalist in the Funniest Person with a Day Job contest, and he's a funny guy. Would you please welcome Andy Ferguson?
Hey, how's everybody doing? Good, good. This is pretty awesome. It's being broadcasted on the internet. And the only way I could get my friends to actually watch this is I said this was going to be porn. So, got a lot of disappointed friends right now. I find that technology can be a little too influential these days. Like, I love video games, but it has way too big an influence on people. Like little kids and stuff, they seem to mimic things they see in the video games, and it's getting a little out of hand. Because, like, did you hear about the kid in the United States who shot and killed his mom because she wouldn't let him play Halo? It's kind of crazy. I mean, when I was a kid, I played Tetris, so whenever I wanted to rebel against my parents, I just organized a garage. Fuck you, Dad! So it's Gay Pride Week. Let's give a hand for Gay Pride, everybody. No? Yeah? Are you from Fort McMurray? You did not like that. Fuck. So, you know, if I was going to do an impression of a gay guy, I'd be like this, right? Like, hey, how's it going? My name's Andy. Like, really over the top. And I was thinking, do those over-the-top gay guys do the same thing about straight people? Hey, so I was at the bank yesterday, and I was waiting in line. This really hot guy came up. He was really tough. He was all like, hi, my name's Trevor. I just want to do a few withdrawals. I'll be out of here really quick. So I've been staying up late watching a lot of nature shows recently, and I was thinking, if it's not Morgan Freeman, it's a really smart British guy that narrates it. And I was wondering, how did they find that one smart British accent to go through? Because there's lots of different British accents. Like, this is your typical nature show. This is a very difficult time for the mother cheetah. It either runs away, leaving its cubs behind for the jaws of the lions to devour them, or she stays and tries to fight off the lion, possibly dying, losing the chance to reproduce. That's your typical one, right? But have you ever seen this kind of nature show? Hello, hello, hello. What have we got here? Little cheetah gonna run away? Is that what you're gonna do, huh? Oh, sheesh. So, do we have any Harry Potter fans out there? Harry Potter? Yeah, lots. Good. This joke will go well then. I was thinking to myself, in Hogwarts and stuff, do you think they have a special needs class in Hogwarts? I mean, hello, class. Welcome to Potions 101. I will now call attendance. I will call your name, and you call back which house you are from. Draco Malfoy. Thank you, Draco. Harry Potter. Gryffindor. Thank you. Thank you, Harry. Buddy Lofton. Spaghetti. Oh, thank you, buddy. Well, now that you've seen my impression of a mentally challenged wizard, I would like to do some final impressions just to close off the night. I mainly do hip-hop impressions, like different rappers and stuff. So, like, this is my impression of Akon. Convict! Okay. All right. This is my impression of Timberland. Yep. And finally, is anybody a fan of Little John out there? Little John? Woo! Yeah, we like Little John. All right, cool. Well, this is my impression of Little John. Quick, Robin, back to Sherwood Forest. The Sheriff of Nottingham approaches. Thanks, everybody. You've been great.
Somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February.
Next up is Tracie Gray, born and bred Albertan. She's worked in broadcast as an actor and comedian. She's worked on radio as well, Kissin' Country, 630 Chad, 92.5 Joe. But really now she's just working with a 3- and a 5-year-old most of the time as a mother, which is great. She's recognized for her work locally and has done an awful lot of comedy as well, so we're pleased to welcome her, Tracie Gray.
Everybody, let's hear it for Michael Kryton. Thank you, Michael. No, I said let's hear it. Come on. I know we got hockey on the brain, but that's okay. I love doing stand-up in Edmonton. And do you know why? Because Edmonton audiences always have the best sense of humor. Isn't it true? Best sense of humor, and you guys are also the hottest audiences. Take a look around. Look at, we have some great-looking guys, some hot women. Like, I'm not even gay, and I would do you. It's true. Is that your wife, or are you here on business? Yeah, no, that's an old joke. I can't even let you guys laugh at that one. That's a really old one. And I did hear it's couples night with you guys tonight, and that we've got some dating action going on here. So I'm going to pick on you. What's your name? Isabel. And you're dating tonight? That really sucks. Dating sucks. There's so much that you have to do to get ready. Isn't that right, ladies? We got so much to do. Like, Isabel, how high did you shave tonight? Was it like the half knee, or do you guys know about this? Do you guys? Okay, we got to stop the comedy then, because this is like a PSA announcement for you guys that you need to know. Women will wax or shave their legs as high as they like you. So, for example, if a lady thinks, not so much, then you guys get the half leg. And you ladies will back me up on this. You've all done it, right? We've all been there. And the half leg is just to look good in a skirt. That's all. We just kind of make that effort. So, guys, if you get a chance to peek a little higher than the skirt line there, and it looks like a couple of toilet brushes, then you're not getting any. No, but if it looks like toilet brushes, you probably won't want any. Anyway, pretty much, yeah. Okay, and if a lady's, going out with a guy and she thinks, oh, he's kind of cute, maybe I will present my lady flower to him tonight. Then, whoop, we wax or shave the whole thing right up to here, right up to the top of the leg. Now, if the guy is super hot, and we are talking like OMG kind of hot, so, I don't know, Justin Bieber, but if it was legal, too young? Is that too young? Okay, yeah. How about Mel Gibson, before he was a Nazi? So think hot, and then we take it all off. You wax the whole thing. Now, there's a name for that. Do you guys know what it is? Anybody know what it's called when you wax? Everything. Brazilian? No, it's called ow! But you were close. But you were pretty close. But that hurts. Like, who would do that? I don't understand this. And it doesn't look good. You are ripping the hair out by the follicles. So it's red and it's bumpy. It's like, hi, can I introduce you to my plucked chicken? Like, no, that's not pretty. That's not nice. Like, you might luck out and get a guy with a fresh poultry fetish. But I can tell you, ladies, that's not the kind of date that you want to be on. I'm pretty sure about that. Now, I saw you come in with a feather on your hat, so I don't know. Maybe along those lines. I'm not a waxer. I don't do that. I'm a shaver. Apparently, I'm not very good at it. Valentine's Day, I decided to, do a little treat for my husband. And I thought, well, shave, just make a little something different. Thank you. Look, I'm blushing. You can tell the story is a true one. And I couldn't decide. Do I want a landing strip or a nacho chip? It's a tough decision. I didn't know. But it was Valentine's Day. So I thought, a little heart. Maybe I'll try that. So tried that. Hubby comes home. I do the big ta-da. And he asks me why there's a caribou down there. Apparently it had antlers. I don't know exactly why. I couldn't see for myself. But you know what? Ladies, waxing isn't where it ends for the crazy stuff that we do for dates. Isn't that right? Like, it's crazy. We'll do weird things to make our boobs bigger. Like, they have invented implants. There's, like, push-up bras. They've got push-up bras with implants. These things are called water bras. And they actually put the implant in the bra. So for the guys out there, it's like turning an inboard into an outboard. Basically. That's pretty much what you're getting. But I don't understand, why would they put water in it? Really? Like, unless you can pop a couple holes in it, like a drinking box for a 4-year-old, it's not doing you much good. Why wouldn't you put something there that's supposed to be there? Like milk. Think how much fun you would be on your coffee breaks. This is awesome. And guys, really, help me out with this one. If you're going to put a beverage in your bra, what is something that all guys like to drink? Beer. Thank you. You could have your own tits on tap. You could start with a light beer, move up to an ale. Is it cold in here? I'm feeling a draft. And the best part is the nipples twist off. I know you'd like that one. That's why I pointed that one at you. I like saying nipples. It's one of those words that they don't. I saw you like that too. It's one of those words that they don't say you can't say in public, but whenever you say it, it makes people smile. Like nipple, 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 nipple. Now, I do have to get going, but I don't want to just hound on dating. There's downsides to being married as well when you're in a relationship. Also, I greeted my husband at the door the other night. I had my new tequila bra on, the Chihuahuas. And he said, honey, I've had a bad day. I've got a headache. And he went to bed. Guys, you're not allowed to say you've got a headache. We invented that. That's our thing. So I had a plan. I went to the closet, and I grabbed the broom. And then I snuck into the bedroom where he was laying on his side. And I started to poke him all around his lower back, all around his bum. Well, he turns and looks at me, and he says, just what in the hell do you think you're doing? And I said, now you know how I feel when I'm tired, and I have a headache. And you were right. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Vote for Tracie. Remember Nacho Chip. Thank you.
I'm learning so much tonight. God. I don't know. How many women do here? Honestly. How many men? They're all fucking lying. Okay. Next up, Marvin Krawczyk from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, started in August of 2009 at Rick Bronson's The Comic Strip right here, started touring that same year and was the runner-up in So You Think You're Funny competition 2010 in Edmonton. Indeed, he is funny. Marvin Krawczyk.
Wait for that music to die down a second. What's going on, guys? How's it going? You guys can talk to me. This is live. This isn't TV. You can talk. It's all right. I got to tell you guys, though, I am getting sick of these stupid shows that are on TV. These things are starting to go way too far. My wife watches a show on TLC called I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant. Have you guys seen the show? Oh, man, it's the fucking stupidest show on TV. For those of you that haven't seen it, this show is about women that have no idea they're pregnant until a baby actually pops out of them. And what's even crazier about this show is 80% of these women on this show, when they go into labor not knowing they're pregnant, they just think they have to take a shit. It's the same story every time. The stomach starts hurting in the middle of the night, they go rushing to the can, they start pushing, and bloop, out comes the baby. That's got to be the shittiest way to start your life, eh? Like, I don't care who you are or where you're from, head first into a toilet bowl is a rough start. I think TLC needs to come up with a new working title for this show instead of I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant. I think they need something more along the lines of, I don't know, I just found out I'm a retard? The movie Ghost was on with Patrick Swayze a little while back. You know, that movie really got me thinking, how come when somebody dies in a movie and they come back as a ghost, they're always stuck wearing the same shit they had on when they died? You know, if this is true, there are going to be a lot of pissed off ghosts walking around. Like, ladies, imagine this scenario. It's laundry day. And you're wearing that one pair of granny panties that you all say for laundry day. Now, if you happen to die, you're stuck wearing that for eternity. I don't see any winner in that at all, eh, guys? And then there's people with those weird sexual fetishes. You died during an episode of one of those. Now you're stuck wearing a leather mask with a zipper mouth forever. Yeah, I don't even know if there's a safe word that can get you out of that. And then there's people that die on Halloween, and holy shit, with some of the costumes people wear for Halloween these days. My brother once went as a fucking condom for Halloween. Yeah, it's a good thing nothing happened to him that night, because I don't know if I can handle a giant dick ghost floating around my room that sounds like my brother. Just scared the baby right out of me. Another trend I've noticed with TV shows, especially reality TV shows, is these celebrity chefs keep popping up all over the place. Like this Curtis Stone guy. Do you guys know who this guy is? Ladies, you know? You ladies, seriously, you don't know? All right, well, he's tall, he's blonde, he's half-built, he's Australian. You know, he looks pretty good other than his big-ass crooked nose that looks like he got hit by a surfboard, a koala bear gnawed on it or some shit like that. But he's showing up on all these shows that have absolutely nothing to do with cooking. Like, he shows up on The Biggest Loser. I watched it with the wife. And he's showing up, and he's showing these girls how to cook healthy meals and all that, and they're all flustered around him like, oh, I can't cook around you because you're so hot. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, this guy must get this all the time. And then something dawns on me. I'm watching Biggest Loser here. No, these girls are a good deuce and a half. Not much of a feat to be pursued by them, I don't think. And then a second thing dawns on me. The guy's a fucking chef. Pretty sure they like him more for his occupation than his looks. I think if any celebrity chef should be going on Biggest Loser, I think it should be Chef Ramsay. You know, a guy from Hell's Kitchen. He'd be whipping these guys into shape, you know, he wouldn't be coddling them or anything. In fact, I think he should switch spots with Jillian, the women's trainer on Biggest Loser. She should go host Hell's Kitchen, because everybody knows that the woman's place is in the kitchen. Don't ooh me. If you're bored after 1980 and you're a woman, we know you can't cook worth a shit. Thank you. My mom just got back from Europe a little while back, and while she was away, she ended up missing my son's first birthday. And she felt really bad about the whole thing, so she came back and just loaded him up with presents. And a lot of stuff you can find in Europe, you can't find here in North America. Like, she got him the Spider-Man toy, I guarantee you can't find here in North America. I brought it with me to give you guys a visual aid of what I'm talking about. So this is it. Yeah. Yeah, you can tell my mom's a big spender. But this pretty much looks like something you would find here in North America. Except the big difference between the North American Spider-Man and the European Spider-Man is this. Bang. Now, if Spider-Man is packing heat like this, I don't see why the hell the guys are going to go into crime fighting. It seems like a stupid career choice, doesn't it, guys? Like, web slinging must have a whole different meaning in Europe. I don't think this does much to conceal his identity. I'm pretty sure we can narrow it down to a black dude at this point. Oh, and you guys will never guess where you blow this thing up, too. That's the main reason I didn't give this to my son. You know, he just turned 1. He's influenced by everything he sees. And I don't want one of his first memories to be Dad with his lips wrapped around Spider-Man, blowing him up. I just start him off on the wrong path there. I give you guys some fatherly advice here, though. Babies are not that hard to figure out. You can pretty much get them to do whatever you want as long as you make it fun. Like, if they don't want to eat, you turn that spoon into an airplane, and they'll eat. I wish my wife could be manipulated in the same type of way. You know, she's not really in the mood, and it's, come on, baby, open wide. Good. And she gets all excited and claps her hands, makes a mess on the floor. You guys with kids know what I'm talking about. Anybody on a date tonight? I've seen 2 guys' hands go up. What's going on over here? I'm not looking. Don't worry. I'm not looking. Not much I miss about dating. One thing I do miss about dating a little bit, I've been married for a little while now, but the girl I was seeing before I got with my wife, man, this girl was into everything. She was into handcuffs and blindfolds and toys. Like, she'd put me in positions that would make Gumby scream. So one night, I go by the sex shop. I pick up a whole bag full of stuff, ready to have myself an awesome night. I get to her place. I'm all excited. I hand her the bag. She looks inside, and she's like, you didn't bring the George Bush mask? And I was like, no, I told you. It makes me uncomfortable when you wear that. I think I'm going to leave that image burning in your brain as I leave, guys. All right, thanks. You guys are awesome. All right, vote Marvin. Big Dick Spider-Man.
You're watching Discovery Channel. Sex with a shaver, sex with a balloon, sex with a comedian. It's very interesting. I'm learning so much that I can't wait to use it at home. All right, next up, Matt Lisac was born and raised in Edmonton. Before graduating, you're laughing. Oh my God, someone's laughing at something I said. Before graduating from the drama program at the University of Alberta, Lisac had already seen 2 of his one-act plays produced at the university's New Works Festival. Since then, he has written, produced, and directed 2 more shows at the Edmonton Fringe Festival. He's a hobby musician and filmmaker, and we're happy to have him here. Please welcome Matt Lisac.
I actually kind of would rather just listen to that song for the next 5 minutes. Can we just... yeah.
this up. Oh, okay. Hey, guys. Ah, funny. Great. Comedy show, go. All right, it's me. Okay. Actually, it's funny. Michael didn't mention, but I met him. I was working at a men's consignment clothing store for male strippers, and just kidding. It's professional look tonight. My name is Matt. I grew up in Alberta my whole life. I lived here, obviously, and I always enjoyed it. But just recently, there's been this new trend that I find objectionable. People are putting these things on the back of their trucks. Everywhere you see the trucks with these just vile, offensive, disgusting things. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? What am I talking about? Truck not... Oh, no, sorry. I'm talking about Newfoundland flags. It's on the back of every goddamn truck you see. I don't mind nuts. That's hilarious. Yeah. So this is called... this show is going to be called Leave Them Laughing. It's about the underbelly of comedy, and if anyone knows about underbellies, it's me for sure. So I got that locked down. I'm a fat guy. Did I mention that? I'm a fat guy. I don't know. I'm wearing stripes, so you can't tell. But there's this. You see a little bit of a Well, you guys. I'm not a geometry teacher. Okay, so yeah. You know what the worst thing about being fat though is just about everything. Just everything about it is horrible. I don't recommend it to anybody. But the worst part about being fat, and you know what? What's funny is that I wasn't born fat, like I was born, baby chubby. But I wasn't a fat kid growing up. Like I didn't get made fun of until I was an adult, and then it doesn't hurt so much, so I don't mind. Hey, you're fat. Fuck you. I'm an adult. I don't give a shit. It's great. I didn't have to put up with the bad part of it. But I think that kind of puts me in interesting territory because there's not a lot of people in minorities who, experienced for a long time not being part of that minority. Like, it's not like you could be, suddenly brown or something like that, Although that would make a pretty awesome sitcom, wouldn't it? Suddenly brown, used to get on airplanes without much problems. I don't know. It's in development. Matt Damon just green-lit it. He lighted it green. Yeah. Anyway, so the worst part about being fat, though, is, honestly, and this is maybe too personal for you guys, the worst part about being fat is that I can't fantasize about me being intimate with women together. Like, I can fantasize about women being intimate with women, no problem, all day. But if I'm fantasizing about me in the situation, it just ruins it, because I know what I look like very intimately, and it's not appealing in any way. I'll run you quickly through my typical fantasy here, because you're dying. I can hear it. You're dying. You're dying to hear it. Okay, so this is my typical fantasy. So, okay. So, fantasy, okay. So, I'm in the Safeway parking lot. Yeah. Paper bags, because it's a fantasy, and something about paper bags, so sexy. I'm in the parking lot, and up walks Penelope Cruz, because she's, lost or whatever, I don't know. And she looks in my bag, and she's like, hey, I like your choice of omega-369 fatty acids. And I'm like, yeah. And then I compliment her on her ass, and that's good enough for her, so she comes back to my place, because that's my fantasy. So I'm lying in bed, buck naked, sweating, because I'm on the second floor of the house, and I don't have an elevator yet. And she starts peeling off her clothes. She's just ripping them off so fast, like they're from JCPenney, and she just found out or something. Just whipping them off, just burning them as they. And then she starts lowering herself down slowly and Spanishly. And a lot lower than this, by the way, but I got bad knees, and you're just going to have to use your own imaginations. And she lowers herself down, and the first thing that her what's the Spanish word for hoo-ha? I don't know. Lowers herself down, and the first thing she hits is my anticipating, bulbous, rotund belly full of flab, makes a smacking noise like she just hit a seal upside the head, long before it has a chance to reach my supposedly erect shame stick, and she leaves. She gets up, she leaves. She's like, I'm sorry, this is not... Well, she's not Russian, but she's like, I'm sorry, this is not going to work. And then she leaves, and I'm like, I don't need you anyway, Penelope. That's my fantasy. That's pretty sad, isn't it? That's the best I can do. Fantasy. And then the Oilers win a hockey game, so it's still worth it. Yeah. Everly scores a hat trick. It's so hot. Okay, that was weird. Not as weird as cat porn, though. Wasn't that a little bit weird? Okay. All right. So a lot of people ask me what comedy is like. Happens all the time. And I got to tell them this story. One time I was on the internet bored, and I was like, I wonder who invented glass. You know, glass, you see it everywhere. It's in our cars. It's in our buildings. Everything is glass everywhere you look. Nobody knows who invented glass, though. And at first I was like, well, maybe glass is just so old that nobody knows anymore. That it predated paper and the idea of writing things down for later. Maybe that's why we don't know. And then I was like, maybe no one knows who invented glass because who would actually admit to inventing glass? Could you imagine being a scientist who comes home to his wife after a long day of science? Hi, honey. How's the work at the lab today? What did you do? I just grabbed a bunch of sand and I made it pretty hot. Put it on a hot plate and it got pretty hot. Hot sand. Oh, okay. That sounds productive. Like, we got bills and stuff or whatever. Our neighbors all died of a disease. Maybe think about just curing it or something. What are you doing tomorrow? I was actually thinking about trying to make the sand a little bit hotter to see if that did anything. And I might try cold sand next week. Because we got sand everywhere. Why not just see what happens? Okay, well, that's fine. I'm going to leave you, obviously, now. It's the natural progression of this situation. You're a loser. And he was like, you know what? People who live in houses made of hot sand shouldn't throw stones. You'll get that later! Anyway, so that's kind of what it's like doing comedy up here. We do a lot of stuff. We try stuff that we think is hilarious, and sometimes it's just hot sand, and that's just how it goes sometimes. That's what doing comedy's like. Hot sand. Hopefully we saw some glass tonight. I'm just going to leave you with this one inspirational message, because it's not just a comedy show here at the Comic Strip. It's also inspirational. I don't know if you guys knew, but you paid to see a motivational speech tonight, or you didn't pay, whatever. So here's my inspiration and motivation to you guys. When you guys dream in life, remember to dream big. Really big. Huge. You know why? Because if you dream big enough, your dreams can never go down the drain. Okay? They just won't fit. Think on that. Unless you got like a dream, you know, like a plunger or something to, you know, or as my dad called it, having kids. Or oh, okay. You guys have been a great crowd. Thank you so much. My name is Mike Lisac.
For the record, Matt, I am not a male stripper. What the fuck am I wearing? Okay. Our last contestant for the evening, originally from Scarborough, Ontario, you didn't think I had it in me, did you? Has been on the Comedy Network. He's also been on XM Satellite. He tours all across Canada, now calls Edmonton his home. Please welcome our final contest in the Lead Them Laughing search for a co-host contest, Mr. Neil Rhodes.
Hey. Here's the thing. When it's just you and Paul Bernardo from the same city, I win. See, I haven't raped or killed anybody, and neither do I ever intend to. So, therefore, I am the true celebrity from Scarborough, Ontario. Let's forget Mike Myers. He doesn't exist, okay? Fuck him. What's he done tonight? Nothing. Where is he? Junk. He's garbage. He's done. Sorry. I'm a small guy. I like to use big words. I'm short. This is not a rear view mirror at all. This is as close as I'm actually going to appear to you tonight, and maybe even 16 years from now. Really, maybe a little bit shorter. Who knows? Yeah, this is my height. Get over it. Just literally climb over it. It's not that hard at all. You're an idiot if you can't, basically. And everyone's like, oh, why don't you just, hey, man, you should get, like, leg surgery. I can't get leg surgery. It's no such thing, man. Here, my plan, I got a plan here. Plan B, we call it, not kicking someone down the stairs, but that's a different story. My plan B, come back next life, boom, as a giraffe. Seriously? And because I remembered I was a human, I could talk, right, as a giraffe. That would freak people out. So I'd come back. First thing I'd do as Neil the giraffe, I'd go looking for my high school coach, eh? Mr. Horton. Goddamn Mr. Horton, right? And find him and say, hey, Mr. Horton! And I look down because I'm tall, right, and he's down there. That's why I'm not trying to not make eye contact with you. But, hey, Mr. Horton, remember me? Remember you said it's too short for the basketball team? Slam dunk this, bitch! And then that's Neil 1, Mr. Horton nothing. That's what it comes down to. And I'm starting to think, too, and I love my mom to death, but I have questions if she drank when she was pregnant with me. Because that would explain my height and the fact that I'm borderline alcoholic. Hey! We'll just sweep that issue under the carpet, won't we? Yeah, that's where we keep it. I just call myself a beer connoisseur. I'm not really a drunk. I'm sampling. That's all I'm doing, just sampling. When I was a kid, see, I never had fetal alcohol syndrome. That's the weird thing. But had rum and cokes. So you do the math, adds up to 5'5". That's what it adds up to. I enjoy drinking now and then as well, as I'm sure hopefully you all do. It's funny, as much as I love drinking, I love when I'm out with my friends and they're drinking, just getting like blacked out drunk all night. My one buddy, Chris Matheson, he's in Pickering, Ontario. Give a shout out to him wherever he is. Just watch the game. That's all I'm saying. Name dropping. Big drinker. And every time we'd go out, I remember this one night, I was like, the best thing is, here it is, the next day, when you're the most sober of the group, you get to tell everyone else all the dumb shit they did the night before, you know? It's like you've got bragging rights. Like, hey, Chris, man, woo, remember? I don't know if you remember last night, but you got really excited when you found that portable toilet and you used it. Oh, man. Was that taxi driver mad at you? Oh, my God. Wow. Here's the thing, buddy. You can clean the stains out of the back seat, but you cannot scrub memories out of that man's brain at all. I don't care how much Mr. Clean you're using. And Chris, buddy, I don't know if you remember this, but whoa, you remember that chick you're hitting on outside the bar and you swore to God she had jaundice? She was a fire hydrant. And you peed on her anyways. That makes me question the kind of girls that you're bringing home and why do you buy so much plastic, you know, and line in your room. Now, I've got my down moments too. Like, I mean, I've got my moments where I drink way too much. I remember one night I was text messaging my girlfriend at the time, like sexy messaging, like all the naughty things I wanted to do when I get home. Here's the thing, though. Her and my mom share the same first name. So, let me tell you a story about a very awkward Thanksgiving dinner, if I may take you back to 2007. And you get questions like, oh, Neil, by the way, your father and I, just a couple quick questions for you, just curious. What exactly is a donkey punch? And are they available at Costco, maybe in family packs? Just curious, that's all. I'm like, no, Mom, I swear, look, don't, stay off of Wikipedia. Whatever you think it is, it isn't, okay? Just relax. I swear, Mom, it's a drink. That's it, it is. It's a mixed drink, and your head's gonna hurt in the morning. It's a donkey punch joke. So, just gonna leave with this. Osama, we got him. Yes! Osama, we got him! Woo! Yeah! USA! USA! USA with me! USA! Woo! Yeah! I love that the Americans lost their minds over this when they got him, man. if anyone else was watching the highlights of the Philadelphia Phillies game, the baseball game, I've never seen people collectively do the wave after somebody just got shot to death. You know that? Woo! They didn't even do it after OJ got caught, right? But Osama, it's like, and they all went nuts, like, woo! It's like, this guy had a USA jersey, oh yeah! Woo! USA, look, it says right here where I live, yeah, USA! It says US and an A right here, woo! We got Osama, he ain't coming back, for it's 1, 2, 3 bullets to the head, and now he's dead! Woo! Go Phillies! Go America! Woo! Go Ballpark Franks! Woo! Here's what it is. The U.S. just loves to cheer their name. That's what it is. They just love a good USA chant. You know what I mean? Seriously, go to mile 28 in Michigan. They love it. You go into Walmart and there's like, oh my God, honey, look at right there. Instant golden brown pancakes, 50 cents off. God bless America. Woo! God bless Sam Walton. Where is he right now, that man? Let's pack the kids up. Let's go to Wisconsin right now. Let's go to the Heartland. You know what? Let's go to Sears Portrait Studio and take our picture next to freedom. My name is Neil Rhodes. Have a good night.
So let's hear it for the 6 finalists: Richard Arnt, Andy Ferguson, Tracie Gray, Marvin, Krawczyk, Mike Lisac, Neil Rhodes. I got to tell you, Neil, you're wrong. You're wrong because Osama bin Laden is still alive. I got a good friend in real estate, Terry Peranich. They put the legislature up for sale, and he has a buyer called Orville bin Laden. And, of course, we all know who that is. But you see, that the whole point was they did a... where they put him in the witness protection program, so they moved to Edmonton, bought a Tim Hortons, so he knows where the cops are at any time. He says, I'm looking for a big place in the middle of a very quiet area where no one knows who's in it or cares. The legislature. Where no one knows who's in it or cares. Okay, let's go to the judges now. I love comedy. I've been called everything up here. Do you think I could do the strip thing? I guess I got to lose the best. Very quickly, just some feedback on the night and the performances. Lesley.
Okay. Well, it was.
No. The technicians have to turn it on. Oh, it's on for the webcast. That's okay. All right.
Little do I know anything about television. That was enjoyable. It was really appreciated that everybody came up and did their thing, and there were a couple of people who I could see beside you doing your comedic hour on the webcast. I'm going to hand it back to
Louise. Louise, maybe go over to Louise. Louise, what did you think, dear?
I thoroughly enjoyed them. I thought it takes a lot of courage to do what they did. Some people did it better than others, and I'm sure the audience is going to tell you who.
There you go. And Bruce Willis. What do you think?
Bruce Willis. Well, you know what? I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and I want to thank everybody who went up on stage. It takes a lot of guts for these folks to come up on stage. I think everybody just give them another round of applause to come up for this. It takes a lot of effort. Thank you very much. Thank you for all of your participation tonight. It's been fantastic, and now I'm going to hand it to the real comedic.
The real pro in the room.
Right, the real pro.
Jesse Joyce, who said such nice things about me. We've talked. I feel we bonded. It's great. Yeah.
You started. You laid into me.
I know. But now I'm a stripper on the Love Boat. I mean, I've evolved all night, for God's sake. I'm doing my best, damn it.
Can I pick 2 and get 1 to replace you? Can I do that? No, I thought, like some of them were really great. You know, I mean, there's some, you could tell the levels of experience of some people versus others. Like, you got to tell who's actually a working comic and who's starting out. But everybody has potential, and there's a lot of flannel. There was that, too. So, good stuff overall. So, thanks, I guess.
Yeah, and thank you guys for participating. Our judges, Jesse Joyce and Walter Schwabe, Lesley MacDonald, and Louise Miller, thank you. Now, what's going to happen is, if you would please right now, so we can move on with the evening. We're running a little late and got to get Jesse to earn his keep here tonight and get you laughing for real. And hope you did have a few laughs. Please mark your ballots, and then we will come around and pick them up. and I will be conferring with the judges. Judges, if you would tally your sheets and then give them to me, and we'll announce the winner at the end. Thank you so much for being a great audience tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Before Jesse comes up, we're going to bring back, would you please welcome back Don Dumont.
Hi, everybody. We thought we would just, do some talking while you guys are filling out your ballots. You guys get yours? You did? Good job. Did you change your hair since I was... Oh! You guys are really just fucking with me. Oh, of course, I'm a girl, too. I, totally pay attention to what all the girls' hair and everything. It was a really good show, I won't tell you who my favorite is. But I really like coming to doing comedy and stuff like that, I actually used to come to a lot of comedy shows with my ex before I started doing comedy. My ex is kind of a strange guy. He actually had a rape fantasy. I don't know if you've ever run into this. And, and, oh, you have? No, you're just like, that's weird. No, but and I'm a nice girl, I really wish they'd ask more questions before I agreed to it. Because then, I wouldn't have wasted $85 in a strap on, and, he wouldn't be in grief counseling. But I actually, I was reading the news today, and I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Hugh Hefner broke up with his girlfriend, his fiancée, actually. They're supposed to get married this weekend. But you know what? He totally had it coming because he betrayed her. He promised her that he would be dead by spring. So... And I know you may be thinking, oh, that's so mean to Hugh Hefner. Oh, no, trust me, the guy's doing fine. There's a woman sucking his dick right now, I guarantee it. Because there's no limit of, what girls will do. Because, some girls, they just weren't taught right, like me. Like my mom always taught us, it's never right to date someone just for their money. You're always supposed to date them because they're super hot. So, because I have values. I don't know what happened to other people. But I have actually been going through a bit of a dry spell, sexually, sir. You know what I'm talking about. It's not good. I'm not enjoying it at all. But I hadn't had sex in so long, I thought that I would check to see if I still had a vagina. And vaginas are not with women, it's not like with guys. You can just look down and you have this personal relationship with your junk. You guys can talk to it, play video games. I don't know what you guys do with it, but and I think that's really great. But with ladies, in order for us to see our personal area, we have to use a small mirror, or a large mirror. I don't judge, but. But no, I was looking at my vagina with a small mirror. Actually, it was fucking tiny. It was actually a dental mirror, and so I'm looking at my vagina because it's a Saturday night and I don't have cable, and I saw something I did not expect to see. I saw the face of Jesus. Yeah, I'm young Jesus, without the beard, and. And I probably should have kept it to myself because, you know, I was all like, oh, check this out and put it on Facebook because... Yeah, big mistake. But, you know, it was like, because then the next day I wake up and there's like all these Hispanic people outside my door, you know, like, and they've got a little shrine and they're burning these vagina-shaped candles. I don't know where they got them. And, you know, like little children are fucking throwing roses at my feet. Yeah. And then this morning my vagina actually made a prophecy. Yeah. The Antichrist will rise from the east. The east. Yes. So you have been warned. Fuck you. I was actually on Facebook today, and I have noticed that there are a lot of Native people on Facebook. You know, it's almost like an online reserve. You know. Like, seriously. And, like, I grew up in a reserve, and now there's all these people from my reserve leaving messages all over my wall, you know. They're all like, holy Don, when you coming home? And I'm like, how do you have an accent over the internet? That is so weird. And I get all these invitations to do Native Farmville. And, you know, and it's actually a really good game. It's just, it's kind of hard, you know, because, like, I had my farm set up really well, and then the government came and put a railroad right through it. Yeah, no, but it's going okay because I have, like, a little casino in the corner, so it's turned out really well. One thing I love about Facebook is you never know who's going to contact you. Like, this one day, this young Native girl contacted me, and she's all like, you know, Dawn, you're one of my role models because you don't have any sexy pictures of yourself on Facebook. And I was like, oh, I thought I did. Thanks a lot, you little bitch. Do little drugs and quit school. Because I do not want to be a role model unless I'm paid to be a role model, which is actually what happened. I was flown up to northern Manitoba, to this like really northern reserve, and I don't think they get a lot of people up there because I get off the plane and they thought it was like Buffy St. Marie, and you know, I really sucked for me because I don't even know anything about vampires. But anyway, you know. But what nobody told me is that this reserve was actually a dry reserve, which means there's like no alcohol within like 100 kilometers. Normally, not a problem, you know, but the pilot was like really hot, and I wanted to work some of the Dumont magic on him, but it doesn't work without booze. So, you know, I had to roll up on him with, you know, on his hotel room with 2 wine glasses and a bottle of Scope. So it was minty fresh. It was the good stuff. All right, so now I'm going to bring your headliner to the stage. He is a very, very talented comedian. He has been on The Tonight Show. He writes for the Comedy Central Roasts. So everyone, please put your hands together for Jesse Joyce.
Oh, hello. What is up? How about a hand for everybody, huh? Give them. Do it. Sweet. We did it. We're here at the comic strip, and it's packed to partial capacity. Fuck yeah. There's 3 or 4 dozen of us, maybe. This is exciting. This is so great. They asked me, they're really nice to you at this club, you know, like, they asked me, like, what do you want to do when you get here? And I was like, I don't care. They're like, no, really, we want to make it special when you're here. I was like, all right, can you make sure it's, like, mostly empty when I get on stage? Can you do that for me? Can you have maybe, like, make sure I go up 50th? Can you do that, too? Because that would be awesome if that could work out. And I was like, all right, this might be crazy, but could I get Michael Kryton to open for me? And they're like, you mean the dead author of Jurassic Park and Congo? I'm like, no, not that Michael Kryton. I mean the one who looks like an evil gay magician. Can you find that Michael Kryton? Do you know that one? I think he lives in Canada. And he looks like a nefarious homosexual hypnotist. Do you know that guy? And he was like, yeah, I know that guy. We'll get him on here. So they did it. Everybody, we're all set up. It's cool. My manager, he was like, where do you want to go in July? And I was like, can you take me to a place where the population is the most distracted by the largest sporting event of the year? Can you put me in that city, wherever that is? And then maybe see if, like, whenever the World Cup is, can you hook me up with a gig in Ecuador at the time during the World Cup finals? Can I do that show also? Because that would be incredible if 14 people came out because something way more important than my stupid comedy show is in town. I appreciate that. It's exciting. So we're here. This is cool. It's good times. I love Canada. You guys are cool. I live in New York City, which it's very different. But well, it's not that. Our homeless people are shittier in New York. I don't even know if you guys have homeless. Do you guys have homeless people here? Yeah. If they do, I'm sure they're pleasant and they like make their own sweaters or whatever. Like I'm sure they're nice people. In New York, they're fucking scumbags. Like they trick you into giving them money. Like you don't know if you can believe their bullshit or not. You know, like this. I get on the subway. Like I'm not gonna do a bunch of New York jokes, but like this one. I get on the subway and like this. It's like a douchey thing to do to come to somebody else's country and go like, let me tell you what it's like where I live. Fuck me. Anyway. The point is, I feel like you guys need to, in case you ever go, I got to warn you, because like Dawn was saying she's going to New York. The homeless people in New York, like they fucking trick you. Like I get on the subway and this homeless guy's there. He goes, "Folks, I'm not homeless. I'm down on my luck. And here's what happened. I just came in town from Baltimore with my daughters, and I got mugged and beat up right in front of them. They took all my money and they put me in the hospital. And I just need money to get back down to Baltimore." And that was sad. It's the people that gave him money, and I was about to give him money, and just then the guy who was sitting right next to me on the subway leaned over and he goes, "Hey, just so you know, I heard that same guy give that exact same speech 2 weeks ago." Right? That's what I'm saying. And I was like, shit, that is sad that every couple of weeks this guy's getting his ass kicked in front of his kids. You know, like we got to do something because this guy needs money for a baseball bat or karate classes because somebody has to put a stop to this shit. Anyway, are we drinking? Is that happening? You guys are getting drunk? Yeah, that's cool. I don't drink anymore. I suck at drinking. I was never like a dick to people when I drank, but I get drunk and think that everyone's fascinating. Did you ever do that? You know, you like end up at a bar hanging out with some dickhead for 8 hours that you would never talk to if you were sober, you know, but just because there's booze involved, you're like, this guy's awesome, right? Like, he wears sunglasses in bars at night. You know what I mean? Like, you would do something like that, you know? Like, I would do that shit all the time. But I'd always have like a moment of clarity where it would occur to me that I was doing it again, you know? Like I'd go to the bathroom, I'd look myself in the mirror, I'd splash water on my face, I'd go, "Jesse, you're doing it again. You know it's 4 a.m. and you're hanging out at a gay bar with a beekeeper. Why are you doing that?" But I come back and hear myself go, "Beekeeping's the shit. That's how we get honey. I don't fucking care." I want to tell you something about that joke because I like you guys and there's a dozen of us, so it doesn't matter. I wrote it when I first quit drinking to try to illustrate to people the kind of drinker I used to be. So when I wrote it, I picked gay bar because I'm not gay, so it was a little funny. And I picked beekeeper because that's like the dumbest fucking profession I could think of, right? It's pretty stupid. Who gives a shit about beekeeping? The point is, like I said, she just went, "Oh, are you a beekeeper?" You just, like you have a beekeeping thing? Your uncle's a beekeeper? Really? That's what he just sits around in a fencing costume and keeps bees? It's a fucking stupid job. I'm sure he's a great man. I'm sure he's a fucking lovely human being, but it's a dumb thing that he does. He goes around with that watering can with smoke in it. It's a stupid, why would you do that for a living? The point is, I don't give a shit about beekeeping, right? So that's why I wrote the joke. The point is, like I said, I live in New York with my wife. A couple of weeks ago, one of her friends came in from out of town from Georgia. She'd never been to New York ever, but she was all excited. She showed up. She picked some bar at random. She calls us. She goes, "Hey, meet me at this bar. You got to meet the guy that I'm dating. I want you to meet him, right?" So we show up. Now, because she doesn't know New York at all, the bar that she picked happened to be a gay bar, which is totally cool. It didn't bother me at all. I just felt underdressed, you know, because I walked in. I'm like, "Oh, I'm the guy here without lit sparklers and rollerblades," but that's not the point. The point is, we meet the dude that she dates and what he does for a living. He's a fucking beekeeper. I swear to God. I've been telling that joke for years, and then literally 3 weeks ago, I hung out in a gay bar with a beekeeper, which is completely surreal, but more importantly, my wife thought it was hilarious and kept trying to get me to tell him the joke. Yeah, that shit was awkward. But she refused to let it go. She was like, "This is hilarious." I'm like, "Stop it. Don't do what you're going to do." She's like, "No, you got to tell him." I'm like, "Quit it." She's like, "Tell him the joke." And I want to be like, "Hey, pumpkin, aren't you listening to that joke? Because it really sort of implies that this is the last motherfucker I would ever want to spend time with." That would be a hard social hole to dig myself out of. Anyway. But I did just get married in October, so there's that. That's exciting. So no, it's cool. It's my first wife. It's not that big a deal. So come on, I'm in show business. This is going to happen. Anyway, I love her. She's great. But we live together. That's very weird. I never lived with a woman. Well, it's not weird that I live with my wife. That's normal. It's weird for me to live with her because she's fucking crazy. No, it's great, but like, because I always had guy roommates. That's extremely different. Like the biggest, she's the first woman I ever lived with. Like, the biggest difference I seem to notice is when you live with a woman, you're automatically the most qualified person to fix shit. Like, how did that happen? Like, never fixed a fucking thing in my life, but I'm like knighted guy who fixes things. Like I don't know if you women are aware of this, but like you guys seem to have this impression that like all guys inherently know how to fix shit, and that is not the case at all. Because when guys live together, we handle it completely differently when something breaks, and you've probably never seen it because it's never just guys when you're around. So, like, I'll let you know what it's like. When guys live together and something breaks in the apartment, that's how we handle it. Ready? We go, well, that's broken now. Whatever, who gives a shit? That'll stay broken forever because I don't fucking care, neither do you. So why don't we go enjoy our day, huh? I guess maybe before we take off, we can shove a phone book under that, or we'll just walk around it for the rest of our lives. But that's cool where that is. That's fine. This is fly with her. We were sitting on the couch and like a shelf fell down. She's like, someone's got to fix that. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Oh, fuck me, I have to fix that. That's what you mean. Like, I don't know. Why would I know how to do that? Like, I have to go to like Home Depot all the time now and ask questions, like fucking get advice. But like Home Depots don't work where I live because it's a flawed concept because like there's so many just vast smashing cultures together at the same time. Like I feel like if you go to Home Depot like here, like there's one like right where I'm staying. Like I feel like if you went to that Home Depot, the dudes there could help you. They know shit about tools. You know, like I don't know why because they love mustaches, but you just figure they know what they're doing, right? That's not the case in New York because in New York, Home Depot is just a minimum wage job. So everybody that works there has been living in the country since their shift started. Which is not bad. It's just hard to ask them home repair questions. Like, hey, pal, can I use this paint inside and outside? That's paint! Fuck, yeah, I know. I know it's paint. Technically, I said that first. Just need to know, can I use it inside and outside? You're going to need brush! Right, again, yeah, I will need a brush. But that's a hammer. It's not going to help me right now, fella. I talked to a manager. Okay, manager! Manager comes over. What's this problem with brush? Give me that. Shit took me 3 weeks to paint the apartment with a hammer. That was a pain in the ass. So, you know what else you get when you move with a woman? You get 16 boxes of candles. Kick ass. How great is that? Why? What the fuck? What do you women do with all your candles? Like, I don't understand. You know how many candles I owned before my wife and I lived together? 0. That was the number. 0 candles. You want to know why? Because I have lamps. They work way better. What do you women do with all... Like, I just imagine the second I leave the house to go on the road, she invites a tribunal of werewolves over for a ceremony or something. It's like, what do you... I don't get it. We got married in October, like I said. This is a totally true story. Our honeymoon fell on Halloween, and so we went to New Mexico. We're staying at this resort, and across the street from the resort, there's like a haunted house, and all the money went to charity or so like some kid disease or something. She was like, oh, we got to do that. We got to volunteer at the haunted house. It's for the children. I was like, that's a fucking terrible idea. Well, that's not how I said it. I said, sure, but it is. If you never did it, if you want to know what it's like to volunteer your time at a haunted house, you're basically signing on for, like, hey, you know what would be incredible is if I could spend the last week of October getting punched in the dick by scared 8-year-olds. That's what I want to do. It's a disaster. They you don't get to pick what you are either. Like, they assigned us characters, right? So, like, I was like a serial killer clown. They give me, like, a red nose and a bloody cleaver, and they, like, put me in this room with, like, a dead hooker on a bed. That was, like, a little scenario they created, right? But the only light that was in that room was a strobe light, and I had to be in that room for 5 hours. Yeah. I don't know if you ever had to be in a room where there was a strobe light and no dead hooker, but that sucks every time. But in that particular situation, about 2 hours into that, you're like, did I kill this hooker? Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. Eventually, you're just like in the corner rocking back and forth with both hands over your face, like, please make this stop happening. The kids all come in, they're like, wow, that is scary in a way, I guess, that clown crying in the corner seems to be remorseful for murdering a hooker. That's kind of a weird scene. It's really more psychologically scary. I was just kind of expecting to jump out and boo, but that's creeping me the fuck out. I'll give you that much, haunted house. That is a creepy situation. So, anyway. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I like being married, but I don't know how to do that. It's like, you know what scares me now? Is like, now that I'm married, like, I got a wife. Like, I got to include her in everything. You know what I mean? And it's like... I'm afraid, I never used to be afraid of the apocalypse, but now it terrifies me as a concept. And it's because, like, I got a fucking teammate now. You know what I mean? Like, if the shit goes down, I got to include her in my escape plan. Do you know how fucked I am? Do you realize how hard it is to, like, plan an escape route for 2, you know? I mean, if it was just a girlfriend, like, fuck you, I'm gone. But, like, I can't. It's a wife. You know what I mean? I'm, like, stuck. Like, I got to, like, she's my family. Like, I got to bring her on board, you know? And It's like, did you ever see that show, Locked Up Abroad? I don't know if you guys, you know that show? That show, I used to love it, but it terrifies me now that I'm married. Because, like, if you never saw it, it's basically like a documentary series, and it's always like, it's true stories about, like, some married couple, and they go on some vacation to some shitty third world country, and they get, like, kidnapped by some rebel militia group, and they're, like, held in the jungle at Machete Point for 6 months, and they gotta, like, escape and tell their story. Like, that guy, like, if I was in that situation, like, I'm totally fucked because I got my wife with me. You know what I mean? Like, because as a guy, you just want to, like, maybe punch the dude and try to escape. But, like, now I got to, like, clear it with the missus first before I make a move. You know what I mean? Like, and then suddenly we're on a 3-legged sack race through the jungle. Like, it's not going to work, you know? Just think about it here. Like, are there any married people here? Anybody married? You guys are? Yeah? All right, like, if a fire breaks out in this room right now, you're going to die. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, the single dudes can bolt for the door, but not you, because you got to make sure she grabs her shit and brings her purse and comes running out, too. And she's going to, like, insist on settling up the bill first. Like, I don't remember ordering all this. And it's like, let's go, princess, you know? And if you ever saw, like, a movie where there's a couple escaping, the woman always trips. You know that's going to happen. They trip every time. I think it's because women don't wear escapable shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at your footwear. It's ridiculous. It's not prepared for the apocalypse. It looks nice, but it is not fucking ready to flee. You know what I'm saying? I think about it all. I just lie awake at night. I look at my wife. I'm like, you're going to get our fucking heads cut off someday, woman. Yeah. But I do have coasters now, and everybody has to have coasters, so it's kind of a trade-off. You see how that works? So it's fine in the end. Anyway, this is a true story. I don't have a joke for this yet necessarily, but it's a hilarious. It just happened, and I think it's funny. It's true. So we're I'm in Portland, Oregon. A couple of weeks. This is like 5 weeks ago. I was in Portland, and I'd never been there before. But I get there. I'm in a cab, and the cab driver, like, he's from Ethiopia, right? So he sounds like vaguely Middle Eastern-y, which is fine, whatever. But he's on this screed. It's a half-hour cab ride, and he can't stop talking about how like crazy he thinks it is that gays are as open as they are. Like, it's rocking his world. He's just like, they just kiss right in front of you. It's like, where? Where are you seeing that? Like, how often is that happening to you? Like, it's just, like, it's really fucking bugging him, right? And then, like, I'm not going to change his mind, so I just got to sit here and, like, endure this half-hour fucking homophobic screed or whatever, you know? Then, meanwhile, he, like, mentions he has a 2-year-old, so that's a distraction. We talk about that for a minute. I get out of the cab. I realize he's now disappeared. I left my fucking phone in the cab, so I'm like, shit. So I got to, like, call the dispatcher. But I don't know. I didn't write down a number or anything, so, like, all I got, this is what I say to the dispatcher. I'm like, look, I don't know his name or anything. I just know he's Ethiopian. He's got a 2-year-old, and he's, like, really homophobic. And the dispatcher's like, I know exactly who you're talking about. Like, what the fuck? Like, how often is this guy doing that? You know, he's just, like, calling in his schedule. I can work Tuesdays and Thursdays. Why are gays kissing in front of me? It's like, what the fuck is your problem? So anyway, meantime, my wife calls my phone, which is now in the back of his cab, right? And I have my wife listed in my phone as wife. I just think it's funny. It's not important. But the point is, when she calls, he knows it's her because it says wife on the phone. So mind you, these are important details to put us in a time and a place that I didn't mention to begin with. This is the day after Osama bin Laden, we killed Osama bin Laden, right? This is the next day. She has not heard from her husband all day long. She just knows he's been on airplanes in an airport somewhere in the world, right? And also, a vague Middle Eastern-y sounding guy answering the phone. This is what he says to her. She picks it up, she answers, he goes, I have your husband. She's like, what the fuck? She hangs up. This is what he says the second time. She calls back. This is what he says verbatim. Woman, do not hang up, I have your husband. Which is exactly what you would say if he had her husband. And like, for like a fraction of a second, I was like the fucking Al-Qaeda repercussions of... Anyway, I don't have a joke for that yet, but I think it's a funny story. So, anyway. So there's that. What else? I don't know. I travel a lot. I'm always traveling. And you guys also travel. You know it's going to be a bad time when you check into a hotel. Instead of you the key card, that credit card that everyone in the world's used for a decade, they hand you a metal key. You know what a bad omen that is when you get that? You're like, what is the key to the city? What the fuck am I going to... Am I staying in my grandfather's filing cabinet? Why do I have a rusty metal key? I checked this place. It was the worst. It was a couple months ago. And I of course, they give me the metal key. I go into the room. There's no alarm clock, of course, so I got a call for a wake-up call. I tell him 10 in the morning. 10 a.m. rolls around. My phone rang. I picked it up. It was the guy from the front desk going, hey, dude, get up. That's the most terrifying way you can wake up. I didn't realize it until it happened, but it just bolts you right awake. You're like, is he in my room? What the I wanted to call him back and go like, hey, how about we make a deal? How about for the rest of the week, I'm just leave the door cracked open. How about 5 to 10? Why don't you just creep on and give me a little wet willy? Wake me up that way. That'll be so much less invasive if you handled it like that. Or maybe just sneak in and gently dip your balls in my forehead until I wake up because
I'd feel far less emotionally raped if you teabagged my forehead till I woke up. I just don't want to hear from you anymore going, hey, bucko, rise and shine. Don't ever call me again. It's off-putting. So, what else? I went to Asia last year. I did stand-up in China and Malaysia. And it was true, we flew Japan Airlines to get to China. We were 5 minutes off the ground on Japan Airlines. And the stewardesses got on the intercom to introduce us to our pirate. Isn't that incredible? I got flown 14 hours across the sea by a fucking pirate. I was like, we're not going to make it. We're just going in circles because the patch, but he stayed on course the whole time. Just waiting for him to get on the intercom. Button down your seatbelts. There's turbulence, yar. I learned this. This is going to blow your minds. How about this? I saw this with my own giant googly eyes. In Malaysia, we were on a tour bus in Malaysia. Monkeys are roadkill. Yeah, I don't think everybody listened to me just there. I think you heard me. You may have waited for me to tell a joke, but you didn't process that piece of information, and I need you all to do that for me. I need you to imagine what it would be like for you guys to leave the largest mall in the world, and you were to be driving down the roads of Edmonton, and you were to hit a fucking monkey. Think of what that would do to you, a monkey. Because everyone's hit roadkill, right? That sucks for a minute. I've locked eyes with a raccoon and was like, oh, shit, I heard a crunch. But then you move on with your life and everything's fine. But a monkey has little hands. A monkey has a face with expressions that you might recognize. It's basically a tiny, fuzzy dude. Just bear in mind, if you're cruising along the highway in Malaysia at 2 in the morning and a monkey darts in front of your car, there's a half a second right before you hit it where you're going to catch in your headlights going, fuck no! You'll never get that shit out of your brain. That will haunt your dreams for 1,000 years. You'd even see in the rearview mirror like, you son of a bitch. Because deer don't have fists. It's different. By the way, my name is Jesse Joyce. I probably should have told you that at the beginning, but Jesse Joyce has been my name the entire time, and this is consistently a problem for me, and I don't know exactly why. But when I introduce myself to people, or they hear my name, Jesse Joyce, 1 out of 10 people responds, Jeffy? Like Jeffy, like Jeffy, Jeffy. That shit happens to me 3 times a week, easily. I'm a fucking grown adult man. What grown-up is calling himself Jeffy? It happens constantly. I took my wife to this nice restaurant. I made a reservation. I'm like, yes, I have a reservation for 2 for Jesse. He looks at it and he goes, no, we do have a Jeffy. Yeah, it's me, Jeffy. I just forgot my hat with the propeller and my balloon, so maybe you didn't recognize me. What the fuck? The dumbest. I once introduced myself to this guy. It was a completely normal situation. I just go, hey, I'm Jesse Joyce. He goes, Jazzy? Jazzy. Yeah, he thought I said Jazzy, and then was like cool with moving on in the conversation. Like, what? What kind of an asshole would have the balls to look you in the eyes and shake your hand, and then with confidence and no further explanation would call himself Jazzy Joyce? You know? It's like, that might have made sense if at the time when I was introducing myself I did it like, Jesse! But I didn't do it that way enough. Maybe if I had a pocket that was filled with glitter, and I went, Jesse! Because then he'd have, like, glitter in his eye. I'd be like, damn, I don't know what he said, but that was Jazzy. And then I tap danced, but I didn't do it that way. The other, I don't want to dwell on it, but I know I have to mention it because people think it is. I'm told by everybody that I have a demeanor and a look that implies that I do a lot of blow. I don't. I'm just jittery and I talk fast, and I have enormous squirrely coke eyes. That's all that's going on. I'm told by many I resemble a coked-up Dr. House. People seem to think about me from time to time. Yeah. Or Dr. Hoose, as I believe you guys might know it as. Because you say house differently. It's fine. We just have a different culture, and that's cool. Dr. Hoose. Anyway. I don't do drugs. You know who does, though? The guy lives in my building, and weirdly, not only does he do them, but he sells them, and he tells you immediately. He can't wait to tell you. It's like he doesn't know it's illegal. It's the weirdest. He moved into my building. I was trying to be a good neighbor. I went down to say hi. This is our first conversation that we've ever had. He's like picking up boxes, so I'm like, hey, welcome to the building. If you need anything, I live right above you. My name's Jesse. He goes, hey, Jeffy. It's like, fuck you. I go, what do you do? He goes, I'm on disability, but I sell weed by the pound. Huh, stranger, okay. And then this is what he says. He goes, yeah, I got a friend. He lives in Portland, Oregon. He FedExes me in a pound at a time. I got a friend. He's got a plane, so he can, like, fly me in 49 pounds to Newark Airport because 50 is a federal offense, but 49 is a state thing. What the fuck? He gave me that entire speech, and then he has the balls to look at me, and he goes, but you know what they say, right? Loose lips sink ships, huh? It's like, why is it suddenly my responsibility and not to sink your fucking ship? It's like, you do remember I met you 11 seconds ago, and then you divulged your entire drug smuggling operation to me. And secondly, who the hell still says loose lips sink ships? You know, it's sort of an old-timey phrase to use in narcotics trafficking, don't you think? It's kind of like, what, do you have a girlfriend? I usually rape and kill teenagers in my crawl space, but that's between you, me, and the lamppost. What? Do your parents live nearby? I killed my parents. I cut their heads off and I threw them in the desert. But Mom's the witch! It just seems old-fashioned. Anyway. So, what else? This is something you guys will appreciate. I don't know if you guys heard this. This is a study that's going on in America. We're fat in America. I don't know if you're aware of that, but it's kind of a giant problem. Did you just woo fat Americans? It's nice of you. It's a big problem. It's a great big fat problem in America. And I feel like it's like, I don't know if you guys know this, but like second only to you, really. Like, we are like the third largest by land mass in the world, you know? Like, we have a giant country. And I feel like I don't know if you guys have caught on to this yet, but like, I mean, we see what's going on in China because China's the largest, and like, that shit, like, that's a crazy population problem. And I think that we see that, and we're just like, you know what? We should all probably take up as much space as possible individually so that we don't have that problem. I don't know, it's just fucking whatever. I was just riffing. But this is something you guys will... This is a shame in America. This is a shameful nugget of information. But there is they did this study, and they found out that the airline industries that are based in the United States spend an extra $185 million every year over airlines that are based in other countries because they spend an extra $185 million on jet fuel because we, as Americans, are fatter than other travelers. Isn't that mind-numbing that at this point Americans are so fat that we all have to chip in for extra gas on a jet to get our giant asses off the tarmac? That is crazy. But like, you hear the stories that, like, I'm not even surprised if we're turning the news tomorrow and find out, hey, breaking news, days are now 26 hours long. That's because Americans have gotten so fat that the Earth is rotating slower. Son of a bitch. Damn it. This is a new watch and it's useless. What a pain in the ass. This also happened in America. Don't shoot the messenger on this. I'm telling you, it's a fact. There's a woman right now. There's crazy people. It's a crazy one. She's on a book tour right now. Her name's Irene Villar. You can Google her if you want. Irene Villar is on a book tour traveling America promoting this memoir that she wrote. The memoir is about the 15 abortions she had over 17 years. Swear to God. Yeah. And you know who are the biggest supporters of her crazy book? It's her husband and her 2 children. Oddly, yes. They are traveling the country supporting Mom's book. It's the whole family. It is... It's her husband, Dave, and her 2 daughters, Lucky and the Iron Fetus. That one's for the comics. I knew the comics would like that one. Iron Fetus is pretty brilliant. Thanks, comics. Anyway. I appreciate it. You guys take care of the environment more, too. That's nice of you guys up here. So, I like that about you. We don't do that so much in America. In fact, we have to be, like, fucking forced to do it. Like, check this out. I don't know if you guys heard this. They're trying to pass this bill in Congress right now. It says that if we don't all start collectively in America recycling more and chipping in, that they're going to do is they're going to try to publish how much everyone in America spends on energy to, like, guilt us into playing along. You know what I'm saying? So, like, our neighbors can, like, fucking smoke us out, you know, if we're not helping. Which is crazy, right? But if they do it, I've thought of a positive advantage. If you guys ever come to America and you want to see what they end up doing, what that bill happens, is that there's already a list. Like, I can already look up. I know where all the child molesters are in my neighborhood, but I have no idea how many of them are using energy-saving light bulbs. So that'll cross-reference those 2 lists, you know? So I have a reason to judge them, you know? In fact, I got a better idea. I think we should just get a great big list and put every American's name on the list. And, like, throughout our lives, we can just earn and lose points based on how well-behaved we are in different categories on the list, right? So, like, it'd be more cumulative. So let's say you do something that you'd ordinarily get in trouble for, like, I don't know, jerking off on the bus, okay? So you'd lose points, obviously, right? But you are taking the bus. So, see? It's a pretty brilliant system, yeah. So, anyway, I got to get out of here. We're doing a short show because we had the whole long thing, which was great, by the way, and thanks for doing that, guys. You guys are awesome. So, yeah, I fucking... This is cool. I like you guys. This is a nice place. I love coming to Canada, except for your cigarettes. Your cigarettes are fucking terrifying. What? Wow. Holy shit. That was fucking aggressive. Like, the second... I just tore down Americans and pirates and gay people and people who have abortions. Like, I just fucking knocked down everybody. And then the second I'm like, you know what, your cigarettes creep me out. You're like, go fuck yourself. Like, you were really, that was a little aggressive, pal. Holy shit. I get it. You'd rather be watching the hockey game. I understand. But Thank you for bringing that up right before I'm fucking about to wrap up. So thanks for pointing out that your nation just lost to my nation. So let's fucking try to do a little extra comedy now in the last 30 seconds here. Let's fucking try to win everybody back on that shit. Jesus Christ. You got to admit your cigarettes are fucking terrifying. You don't feel that way? Like they have scary pictures on them? Like that doesn't freak you out at all? You can't not. It's a fucking like it's a brown lung or a guy with half a face and no teeth. You're like, what did that to his face? Did he smoke a hand grenade? What could have done that? Like, I'm not prepared to blame this exclusively on cigarettes, Canada. I don't think this dude used a toothbrush for a decade either, but whatever. The point is they're shitty. They're aggressive cigarettes. And I don't know if you guys still have this pack, but like last year I was in Ottawa and I brought it back with me because I knew, like Americans find it fucking impossible to believe that it's on your pack of cigarettes. But did you guys get the one, the cigarettes kill babies? It's a fucking dead baby and then it says cigarettes kill babies. It's like, take it down a notch, Canada. Seriously, like if you guys are going to be that shitty about that argument, like if you're going to be that aggressive, then you have to look at the rest of the facts in that argument, Canada. And the rest of the facts are a lot of other shit kills babies also. And that is because babies are super easy to kill. Right, come on, think about it. Sleeping on their tummies kills babies like half the time. And I just want to make it clear I'm not advocating the killing of babies. It's not like I brought the dozen or so of you here because I have good ideas. But I need you to admit to me that even if you're uncomfortable with the concept, that you got to agree that just as a fact, babies are extremely easy to kill. Like we can all kill a whole bunch of babies at one time, just throw them in a pillowcase and smack at it. That's all I'm saying. It's very easy to kill babies. I'm not saying that's right in any way. You understand the distinction? Like I'm not suggesting that that's in any way acceptable, but you really, like I'm feeling some resistance from a few of you to like continue to laugh at this as a joke. And to those of you, I say you realize you don't have to actively kill a baby. You can just leave it. It will die on its own. That's how easy it is to kill a baby. It's kind of the opposite of a chia pet in a way, if you think about it, because, like, chia pets require no maintenance whatsoever. Like, you can leave a chia pet in a room for a decade. You forget completely about it. You come back, you're like, shit, that's enormous. I didn't feed that once. How did that even happen? Like, there isn't even sunlight down here. I don't even understand. But, like, you leave a baby in your car for, like, 10 minutes on kind of a hot day. You come back, it'll be a dusty raisin. They're just super easy to kill babies. And it's on your cigarettes, and I'm really feeling like you guys are bucking me on this fucking joke here. And are you guys afraid this will get back to babies? Is that the source of the problem? Is that why you're uncomfortable? Because I assure you there are no babies here. Babies cannot get into this club. The comic strip is for grown-ups. Babies can't get into here. We can say anything we want about babies. Fuck babies. That's what I say. Babies can't get in here. Can you imagine there's some baby here sitting right there in the front like, man, pay attention to me. Fuck you, baby. It's not about you right now. We're trying to do a comedy show here. You understand what I'm saying? Besides, they'd lose their liquor license. You know, you can't have a baby in a bar. Like, can you imagine the fucking disaster that would be? Some baby comes waddling up like, hey, I won tickets on the radio. They're going to get the fuck out of here, baby. They're going to kick him into the mall, and that baby would die immediately. The point is, I have to quit smoking. One of my friends told me to quit smoking, I should take a McDonald's straw, kind of the size of a cigarette, because McDonald's straws, coincidentally, are the same circumference, so it helps with the muscle memory. I did that shit for like a week. I just sat in my car and I smoked a McDonald's straw like a retarded monkey. You know, I thought maybe I should keep with me in my pocket for emergencies in case I might need it, which evidently is a suspicious activity to have a tiny piece of a straw in your pocket when you're drinking squirrely Coke, guys. That completes the whole puzzle. Yeah. I might as well just walk around with pockets full of powdered sugar. It's me, Jeffy! Why would I do that? You guys, that's it. My name's Jesse Joyce. It's been fun. I'm selling a CD. You can buy it. You don't have to, but if you did, I'd sign it for you or any boobies you have. Just throwing that out. Thanks for coming. See you guys. Have a good night.
Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. Yeah. Now what the hell are you waiting for? There should be no more. So for one last time,
Jesse Joyce, thanks so much. And thank you for participating on the judging panel as well. So here we go. It was really interesting, actually. I'm going to name the two runner-ups because they're dead bang on. Pretty much it was a bang-on tie. So congratulate the runners-up, and he's going to be picking your brain for the show nonetheless from time to time. Andy Ferguson and Tracie Gray. And the hands-down winner online and in the room and according to the judges was Mike Lisac. Matt, come on up. Or like a true comedy writer, he's already left to go home, grab his McDonald's straw, and oh, there he is. So we're going to work together.
Awesome.
Do you wear vests?
I will. I will now.
So, are you think you're up for this? Are we ready to take this on? Because we're going to take this right to the moon. I think we should have Jesse Joyce on the first show. What do you think? By Skype. Jesse, would you do that? Oh, yeah, he's gone for a blow. I see how he goes. He's got his freaking straw in the left hand. He's just sugary. He sets it up in the routine. He says, oh, it's a sugar thing. It's a sugar thing. And he's out there, oh, sugar. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to do that. We're also going to be looking at getting Mr. Rick Bronson on the first show, so we got to do something for him. So you got to start thinking. I want to congratulate you for becoming a co-host for the show. And I want to know, I want all of the participants here. I want to name them all, and I'm definitely going to make sure you guys do appear, and we will stay connected as a family of people who love humor and comedy. Richard Arnt, Andy, of course, the runner-up, Tracie, runner-up, Marvin, Krawczyk, and Neil Rhodes. Congratulate those guys for doing a heck of a job tonight. And I want to thank you all for participating, and if you'd like to stay tuned and follow the process of this show and what we're going to do, make sure you go to FusedlogicTV. We're also on Facebook, and just keep checking our programs. And once you see the program, we'd love it if you tweet it out and shout it out and put it on your Facebooks and your LinkedIn's and anything else you've got, all your porn sites that you're on, and all those video clips that you like to watch and stuff. Make sure you're watching us too. Okay, thank you very much for a great evening. I also like to thank once again Rick Bronson from the comic strip, and also Dina DeFilippo, who's done a great job with us, and the team here. I want to name them again. I've got it all written down right here. David, Devin, Mark, Vanessa Taylor, and also finally to our judges, Louise Miller, Lesley MacDonald, Walter Schwabe, and again, Jesse Joyce. Thank you, everyone. And if you are drinking, don't drive, and if you don't drive, please drink. Okay, thank you.